Hi everyone, welcome to M.A.N.A Thrive Journey, a space where I tap into my M.A.N.A spirit to grow, heal, and thrive. I'm aiming for real and raw and wholesome transformation as I go from 440 pounds to 220 by December 2026. So get ready for the ups and downs, the victories, the challenges as I work towards becoming the best version of me. Buckle up and join me on this wonderful, exciting journey. So, in today's video, I'm going to be sharing why the game plan that I shared with you yesterday. But before we do that, let's go get into what I ate for today. So, I still haven't eaten yet. Remember, I'm doing intermittent fasting 16/8. I don't feel like eating yet. But so far, this is what I had. Green tea. I had the cup filled all the way up to here, so I'm halfway now. If you, and remember, I'm using the real green leaf tea. Green tea leaf. So, when you boil it, when you boil the green tea, it's really bitter. So what I do is I just grab the leaf, I put it in my cup, and then I boil the hot water. And when it's super, super duper duper hot, that's when I pour it into my cup and I let it sit for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then I take the leaf off. So it's not as bitter. But if you boil it with the water, then it becomes really, really bitter because it's going to extract all of that all the minerals or whatever it is that's on your green tea that helps you with energy, gives you energy, helps to reduce inflammation, all good stuff for your body. So let's drink some tea. Toast to our future together. Let's thrive together and let's take a toast. Toast. So within the last 3 days, I've been doing really good. I feel a bit better. Yesterday I ate that green banana. It was it has starch in it. We have green bananas that are smaller than the size that I showed you yesterday with my coconut cream soup, fish soup. But the one that I ate yesterday was a bit on the heavy side, and I ate 1.5 bananas, green bananas, and it does make you feel a bit heavier. So I'm gonna scratch out or be mindful. Remember, we're not cutting any foods. We're just being mindful of what we're eating. Mindful eating. What else? Okay, so that's what I've eaten so far. But what do I plan on eating later today? I'm thinking of having, um, we have shortage of eggs on our island. So if there's eggs at the store, any leftover eggs at the store, I'm gonna have some eggs, some spinach, some onions. I'm gonna have some corn and some potatoes and carrots, maybe some beans, all in this one plate. We're like a veggie diet. We don't use diet, remember? Okay, so that's the plan for today, and I'm still gonna have my cream cheese and my crackers that I showed you yesterday. Magic flakes, which is it's kind of like a salty cracker, but it's not as salty and not as breakable. What did I want to share with you today? Oh, why the plan that I shared with you yesterday? Why fasting? Why only 5 to 7 minute workout? I think that's going to be like a really lengthy video, but why not? Just go ahead and share that with you. So, why am I opening this? I'm not eating right now. Okay, put that away. Guys, I'm recording. Okay, so intermittent fasting. I had my doubts about intermittent fasting. The first time I heard about intermittent fasting was in my workplace, and I saw it I saw it on social media. This was back in, I want to say 2021, around that time. And I was like, oh, another diet. Because I did keto. Keto works. I did the Daniel's fasting diet. It worked. It actually, that's after I did the Daniel diet, that's when I started the excessive bleeding. And after a year, I had surgery, the major surgery. Yes, the H surgery. Oh, it was horrible. A video for another day. So, I thought about doing intermittent fasting, and I tried it. I tried it a little bit, maybe for a few days with a coworker, and then I stopped. And I was still kind of hesitant and not really. I thought, starving yourself was, that's what I thought of fasting was, like starving yourself. And I don't do well when I starve. In fact, when I starve myself, I end up binging and gaining everything back and more. So that's what I was thinking of fasting. I thought that was fasting. I mean, I saw all of the advertisements, and it's very clear when you should eat, when you don't eat. But what I wasn't clear about was the why. Why is it healthy for me to do this? Why am I gonna not eat and then eat a certain time, lose weight? What's the health benefit? Nobody really shared that. They just say you're gonna lose weight, but they didn't really share the health benefit. Was this even healthy for me to do? Until one day when I was sick, I was homesick for about a whole week. And when I went on my computer, I came across a video. I mean, it was, how like when you're on YouTube and you see these videos pop up. And the video was about a lady, I'll tell you her name later, a lady who was going against all of, all the doctors and probably industries were mad at her because of what she was sharing. And this is on the Diary of the CEO. Shout out to Steven, he's awesome. So I clicked on it, and lo and behold, somebody who could tell me what intermittent fasting was, what it does for you, why it's healthy for you to go on intermittent fasting, the reasons, the obvious reasons actually. And I thought to myself, my gosh, finally, someone that could explain this down to the T of what intermittent fasting was. And I researched this lady, her name. I even bought her book. Her name is Dr. Mindy Pelz. Well, I did purchase the book, but it never came through. There was something wrong with the shipping. So I ended up buying the audio, and it was amazing. And I recommend that you do either buy the audio or just buy the book. Sometimes it sells out. It's called Fasting Like a Girl by Dr. Mindy Pelz. I'll go ahead and put that in the link below. Fasting Like a Girl by Mindy Pelz. I thought to myself, wow. And she even has a YouTube channel, and I also joined the YouTube community, Facebook community for Dr. Mindy Pelz on intermittent fasting. Oh my gosh, what an amazing education on intermittent fasting. It just blew my mind. And I thought to myself, wow, this is exactly what I did within that week that I was sick. The week that I was sick, I was not eating. You know, every time you get, and it makes sense. You know, when you get really sick, your body gets sick and you don't want to eat, you don't feel like eating, and so your body just goes into this resting stage. If you're admitted at the hospital, um, the doctor either gives you liquid to drink because you don't feel like eating food, you're really sick, your body can't process the food because it's sick, your body's sick, it needs to heal. So this is the same type of thing that the fasting, intermittent fasting, um, folks go through. So when your body is in a fasting state, it's actually healing itself. If it's fasting for a certain period of time, even if when you're fasting, spiritually fasting, and I'm wondering why. I mean, in my religion, we practice fasting every month. We give up one meal for a person that is in need or a family that is in need of that one meal, and we fast for that one day. Up to 24 hours is what is recommended, but you can fast how long you can. And I'm like, my gosh, this is ancient knowledge that is now being now it's being talked about now. Why do we forget to do that? Fasting. But this is knowledge from back in the days from who knows when. And so it makes sense. So the story goes, we were once hunters and gatherers, and what the hunters do is they go out hunting, and once they get their food, they would feast on whatever meat, whatever the catch of the day was, and then for a long period they wouldn't eat, but they were still strong, and they would go hunting again to feast. So what's happened in our days is we feast every day, and there's no time for processing the food that we eat because we have it all. I mean, everything is available, readily available nowadays. So we're feasting, but we're not taking time to have the food processed in our body, and then until our body gets sick, and then we finally go into that fasting state. Blew my mind. So fasting is not starving, but when you eat like 500 calories or maybe 500 calories, if your calorie deficit is 2,500 or 3,000 plus in my situation for 40 pounds, then, and I'm eating only 500 calories or maybe 1,000, I'm pretty much starving myself. But if I'm not eating at all, that, and the what we're looking at is glucose, sugar. If I'm not eating any sugar at all in my body, it goes into a state of, what's the state again that it goes into? Let me see. State the body goes into during fasting. Let me see. I totally forgot. Hold on, guys. Oh, intermittent fasting. If you know what it is, go ahead and post it down here. Oh. There's a state that your body goes into when it's fasting. And it's not autophagy. Autophagy is afterwards. Let me see. Dr. Mindy Pills. It's in the book. I can't find it. It is But there is an autophagy phase. Anyway, so the phase that I'm talking about, that's when your ketones, it's kind of like keto. Ketones are released within the body, and then it changes from metabolic it changes your metabolic. Oh, let me see here. I should have read this before getting on this video. It shifts. Your metabolic shifts during intermittent fasting. That's what it is. Shifts from what to what? It shifts from. Okay, let's do this again. Alright guys, I have to go get the research so I don't take too long on this video. I should have looked at information. Well, I wasn't planning on going that far, but anyway, I think we should talk about it. As I'm eating my cream cheese and crackers, someone told me that I shouldn't be eating this, and tell me why. Okay. I'll give you the information from Dr. Minnie Pills. So there's a metabolic shift in when we fast. So when we're fasting 0 to 13 hours, that's burning glucose. So glucose is this cracker that I'm eating has glucose. Anything with sugar, glucose is sugar. C6H12O6. That's the compound. And so what your body does in intermittent fasting during those first 10 plus hours, it helps to burn and break down the sugar, whatever sugar that we had in our body. So remember I told you I ate bananas yesterday? So that's starch. Starch is sugar. So it broke down the sugar, but I think I'm not going to eat as much mindful thinking starch. So after 0 to 13 hours, then your body changes from breaking down glucose, and instead it's going to go ahead and break down the fats that's stored in your fat cells in your body. Let me see here. Fat burning begins. Insulin levels drop, and the body starts breaking down stored fat for energy. So whatever fats that I have during intermittent fasting from hours 14 plus, that's when it taps into my fat cells and uses that for energy. And that's where the weight loss comes into. That's where weight loss takes effect. It's within those hours. Deep ketosis and growth hormone surge within 24 to 48 hours. That's when you're in deep ketosis. Fat burning intensifies and growth hormone increases, significantly aiding in muscle preservation and cellular repair. Your cell gets to repair its own body. You know how like when you've heard people that are in a coma, or they can't wake up, or they're probably laying there for days, and all of a sudden they wake up. They're in the fasting state. And the cell repair itself within 24 hours plus, with no glucose coming into the body. Stem cell activation, the immune system regenerates and the body starts producing new stem cells within 48 to 72 hours. We're talking about 2 to 3 days of intermittent fasting. I tried. I was able to go up to 22 to 23 hours, but not 24. So that's a goal in itself. Fat burning intensifies and growth hormones increase, and cellular repair takes place within 24 hours to 48 hours. This is all in the book. See what I told you? This is why it's important to read what she says, and she's a doctor, and she's also backed up by the, what's his name again? He's Asian. He's a doctor that actually introduced intermittent fasting. It wasn't Mindy Pell's. This is Mindy Pell's version of what intermittent fasting is. Okay, and then stem cell activation, 48 to 72 hours. Okay, I already said that. So it's the metabolic shift from burning glucose to burning fats that are stored within your body. That, my friends, is where the fasting, the weight loss takes place. So the longer you fast, the more fat cells are burned. That's why I'm eating fat cells. Fats. Mm. Mm. So if you're doing intermittent fasting and you're eating keto diet, you'll be in that ketosis state. And the best way to find out how much ketosis you have is to get a test, ketosis test kit to see how much ketosis that you have in your body. All right, so that is my relationship with intermittent fasting. And thank you to Dr. Mindy Pelz. When I first started my intermittent fasting, this is during this time I was sick. I went straight into intermittent fasting. I went from 412 pounds to 370. It just like fluctuate between 372, 370. And I wasn't working at the time. I stayed home. I rested. I had time to take care of my father at the same time. I had time for myself. I wasn't working. And so here's the thing, guys. If you're stressed, another thing I learned is that your cortisol levels are going to go up, and cortisol pretty much it happens or it occurs because of fat, all the stress, and then it stores the fat especially in the belly area. So if you have a biggie belly like mine, I'm gonna show you my body tomorrow. I don't wear pants or jeans or any of that or tights. I just wear a muumuu. So I'm trying to be creative and see how I'm gonna show you my body. Maybe I'm not gonna show you, like without. I probably have to buy some pants. So if I don't get back to you tomorrow, then I'll just wait until Tuesday or Wednesday to show you my whole body image. I am confident in my body image, but my heart says otherwise. Anyway, where were we? Okay. Intermittent fasting. Yes. That's my relationship with intermittent fasting. Lost weight. Then I went back to work, and things got worse with my father. His health-wise was getting worse, and so I ended up having to juggle not getting enough sleep, not sleep at all. Sometimes I go, I like, I'm a zombie because I go 24 hours with no sleep up until the next, sometimes up to 48 hours. And I'm like a walking zombie. I can barely walk when I'm tired. And the late night snacking started up again. And here we're pounding on the weight is coming back up, and I'm saying to myself, oh, I can do this. I can get back on the intermittent fasting, but it's not that easy. Mm-mm. Especially when your body's not getting the rest it needs. It's been over a year since my dad passed away. I thought I would have more time to myself, but other responsibility, other responsibilities got in the way, and so we're back to square one. By this time, I'm over 400 and over 440 pounds. I think it was at 464. For some reason, I came back to 440. Nope, no. I was 400, just over 440 pounds. And that is when I said to myself, oh my goodness, Carolina, you need to do something about this. Especially when I got news from the doctor that my heart is slightly enlarged. I'm in denial still with that. I'm in denial with the uric acid. Those are the two things I got recently diagnosed with as of November, December of last year, 2024. So I got some medication. Got Lasix. I take like 6, 7 medications per day. I'm looking for my card. Found them. Okay, so that's my relationship. That's why intermittent fasting. That's why I'm doing intermittent fasting. I feel like I did some research, and there are amazing things that happen to your body when you go into intermittent fasting. I remember Minnie Pills, Dr. Minnie Pills, sharing how she had like inflammation on her leg. I'm not sure if it was her leg or her knee or something. And then she went into fasting for more than 3 days. And then after that, the pain went away. Like, she tried everything. What did I say? Stem cell activation. Could this be the answer to cancer? I did see research where they did intermittent fasting for an Asian lady, and then something, I forgot what the term was, medical term, and she was able to heal her cancer. Who's the culprit here? Sugar. Glucose. Have you guys heard of the glucose goddess? Well, you're in for a treat because that's a whole nother video in itself. I tell you, I gotta have a plethora of knowledge on health and wellness. The glucose goddess, she is amazing. And just a tip for us here. So if I'm pre-diabetic or if I'm diabetic, so instead of eating anything with glucose in the morning, you want to have your something savory. like probably eggs and onions or eggs and spinach, something like that. Nothing with glucose. You eat that first, even for lunch. And then later, if you want your glucose, you want to eat that later. So that you don't get sugar spikes, glucose spike. Because every time you get a spike, you're frying your insides. Yeah. Just telling my husband that, and he's like, oh, yeah, we're browning our insides. And that's what happens when a person dies. Their insides are pretty much brown. Burnt. Toasted. All right. Okay. Let's go back to my plan. That's the why for what? Why for intermittent fasting? What's the other one? Mindful eating choices. So what's my intermittent fasting plan? 16 hours of fasting, 8 for now. If I can do more than that, go for it, Carolina. Woohoo! But for now, I'm doing 16 hours of no eating glucose or food, any food, but I can drink tea or water. And for those of you who are coffee lovers, you can do the black tea. Preferably organic. Anyway, just like how I do my tea, organic tea. I can smell my food. All right, mindful eating and food choices. Number 3. What foods am I prioritizing? So, I'm going to tell you this, which is a whole nother video on its own. My daughter did a science project, and I was her guinea pig. I was her object of testing her science theory on, and it was about probiotics. Does it really work? Does it really help you lose weight? So I'll show some pictures later. This was a few years ago. This is before my knowledge of intermittent fasting. So I learned a lot from my daughter. This is brunch. This is my lunch, my breakfast, lunch, dinner. And you know I'm gonna be snacking on cream cheese later. Forget about eating half of the cream cheese. I'm eating the whole thing. I'm actually eating better. It's been a week. It's been 4 days, and I'm actually eating really good. So this is my plate. This is both breakfast and lunch. Got my eggs, I got spinach, I got lettuce, I got some potatoes, not a whole potato, like half of it. Got some corns on it, some onions. Now you're supposed to do this with olive oil, but I don't have olive oil, so I know oil is the worst thing. Another video for another day. A worst thing that you can do to your body is eating any kind of oil, like canola, veggie, all those kind of oils. Throw them out. I will after this, and then because this type of oil is really bad for your body. But like, hey, this is my journey. I'm starting baby steps right here, because this is for real. I haven't done this type of video or this type of channel in ever. So I know that when I say this is for real, this is for real. So anyway, that's what I'm gonna have. This was this food, check our bodies. Please bless my husband for preparing this food. Bless our viewers who are watching right now with whatever issues that they're having in their lives. And if they're happy, good for them. Continue to bless them and pray that we will have a really good relationship ship and be able to thrive together in Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen. Let me taste it. Corn. Whole nother story with corn. Baby steps, right? Mindful eating, choices. Mm-mm-mm. That onion tastes really good. Have some eggs with it. The spinach leaf is straight from our garden. It's supposed to have the highest fiber. More fiber than your regular spinach that you get from the store. And it grows really fast. If anybody wants one, just let me know. I'll show you what it is later. You can just grow a stick or stem and it'll grow like crazy. You just pick the leaves off and you put it in your food. You can fast forward this part when I get to me talking. Okay. That was yummy. Okay. So mindful eating. Everything's open to me at this point, but mindful eating. Just make wise choices. And it's kind of hard for me to, which is why this YouTube channel is really good, knowing that I have to come and report. And I have to be honest. It makes me want to eat good food, make better choices. But there are gonna be days when I'm not. I'm gonna tell you up front right now. But as long as majority of the time I'm doing well, then I'm happy with that. Because this is a journey. This is not something we don't want to like hold each other's throat and say, "Hey, you need to stop doing this." We have to want to do it for ourselves. Okay. So I already gave you a breakdown of what I'm gonna eat for the day, and then for the last 3 days. How am I feeling so far? Any changes you noticed in starting? Any struggles or wins to share? That's the next part of my sharing today. So, yes, my heart pain, it's not there anymore. Seriously, I haven't had heart pains from 3 days ago. And before 3 days ago, I've been having those heart pains even before that time that I was doing the video, but more so that day. I think I was highly stressed that day. I feel much better. Just slightly changing. Slightly changing my eating, getting more sleep, And I think just being accountable by having this, I'm not gonna edit or whatever. Having this really helps me because knowing that I have to come out here and talk to you, even though I might or may not have yours, but I'm telling you, this really works. So thank you for being there or even if you're not there, this works for me, whether you're there or not. But the views help me. Oh, so with that being said, I want to do lives. That way I don't have to record myself. So if I get at least 50 subscribers, then I'll be able to do lives. Remember, on my first video, I saw this somewhere, that's why I said it. I said 100 to 100,000, but if I have 100,000, 100 subscribers, that's great, but I don't think I'm gonna not eat sugar with 100, with just 100 subscribers. If I get 100,000 subscribers, then I'll consider not eating sugar for 90 days. So up to you guys if you want to subscribe, if you want to see me. I mean, can you imagine the transformation I'm going to go to if I don't eat sugar for 90 days? And all because 100,000 of you subscribe? Well, it's up to you guys. So how am I feeling? Much better. I'm still heavy. I still feel the heaviness, inflammation, and I'm doing my best. But I think we're off to a great start. I really do. And I want to thank this platform, any YouTuber officials out there. Thank you for this platform that I'm able to record without having to take any of my space. So this is a space that I'm using for my M.A.N.A Thriive to tap into my M.A.N.A spirit. And don't I look a little bit energetic than I did like 3 days ago? Okay, that's my laugh, if you haven't heard it yet. I might make some changes in the channel in the future, and I might not show these videos again. I'm not sure. But when I started this channel, I really didn't know how to have this channel set up. But I was like, you know what? I don't have that much time in a day to be editing, so I'm just gonna do this. Let's see how it goes. The main thing is hopefully it'll help me be accountable for what I'm doing in my life and help me to get better, feel well, feel healthier. And so far it has. I don't have any recommendation or suggestions yet, but if you're going through the same problem I'm going through, this really worked for me. I'm not sure if it'll work for you, but it works for me. And if you're watching this and you enjoy my videos, go ahead and subscribe so I can be able to do my lives and not have to record and upload. Let's keep it real. Okay, my plan for exercise. Yes. The reason why I chose that 5 to 7 minute workout. Where did I get inspired from? Well, first it was just my thing. That's how much I could do. I could barely move at one point. So what I noticed is when I get up and I put on whatever music that makes me feel like dancing, and I just move a little here, a little here, and I just tell myself, just 5 to 7 minutes is all you need. So then what happens is I get so into it. My kids, they always love to dance. When mommy dances, they want to come and dance with mommy. I ended up dancing longer than 5 to 7 minutes. But I say, okay, as long as you can do 5 to 7 minutes a day of dancing, that's great. And so I'm not planning on implementing that this month. In April, I want to focus on what we're eating first. But if I feel like doing that, before the end of this month or the rest of April, go for it. And if I'm gonna do it, it's gonna be on this YouTube channel. If you want to see it, let me know, because a lot of bouncing around. All of that. I know, honey. Okay. So, later on, after starting this 5 to 7, and I have videos from my Facebook that I would just do my live on Facebook and just do my 5 to 7 minute. I have like 300 up to 400, 200, sometimes 100 viewers. And they'd be like, oh, you go, girl. And I'm like, wow, this is so much fun. So every day, it was like, just like doing this, it felt like I need to get up in the morning and show my dancing skills. And I did. I could break it down. And I did lose weight also physically just by doing that. And I noticed with myself in the past, even anytime that I work out, it makes me not want to eat. I don't feel like eating. I just want to drink water or drink, and I want to continue to work out. Well, the only issue right now is just my knees. They hurt so much because of how heavy I am. But I know we'll get there. We're going to thrive together, right? Okay, so that is why I have my plan that I shared with you yesterday. And hopefully you learned something maybe from this video, or if you're rooting for me, if you want to see how I'm going to transform. Like I said, the goal was up until 2026. I think it's a bit too soon also, to be honest with you. Losing, that's half of 440 pounds is 220. So I will have to lose 220 pounds by December 2026. In reality, that doesn't really happen. It should be 3 to 4 years trying to lose those inches here and there. But hey, maybe we can do it. I don't know if it'll be healthy, but it's the goal that I have for now. Losing half of me is I want to say goodbye to. All right, I'm gonna finish this food. I may not finish this food. It's great being here with you guys. I had fun today. Hope you guys did. Do you notice the M.A.N.A spirit energy coming out? It's only day 4. Can you imagine what you're gonna see in the next few days? Hey, tap into my M.A.N.A spirit. Tap into my M.A.N.A spirit. Tap into my M.A.N.A spirit. Hey. Okay, gotta go. Welcome. Thank you for joining me on my journey, my M.A.N.A Thrive journey. Feel free to come along with me, that we can thrive together and see results. I'll see you tomorrow.